Jockstrap, I Love You, Jennifer B. album review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning. Here tonight to chat about this latest album from Jockstrap, their full-length debut. Jockstrap are a London-based electronic, indie-tronic, progressive pop outfit. Jockstrap are a UK-based electronic and progressive pop duo. They've been at it for a few years now. I started, getting some wind of them back when they were releasing some pretty cool EPs like Love is the Key to the City. And this was a pretty classy blend of indie rock, electronic, and some more genres as well. It was very sweet on the ears. I did like it. But with their Wicked City EP, they pumped up the weird in a lot of ways, and I became an overnight fan. I loved just how freakish this EP was. They started taking some major risks, and all of a sudden, Jockstrap didn't sound like anything else out there. And while I initially wrote off their Beavercore EP, it's actually a pretty rad little EP that's pretty exhilarating as well. Now, they've been cooking for a while now, and I certainly have been very curious to hear them in a full-length album aspect, and here we are. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. The hype is absolutely real on this album, and there's a lot of really great material on here. I love Neon as an intro. I will say this, you don't know what to expect with this album at a moment's notice. Jockstrap are not afraid to bounce around from genre to genre, theme to theme, very quickly too. And this intro proves it. It's a very stripped down and very tender ballad with a subtle beat going behind it. It's pretty, hard to describe, as it's really haunting and sweet and beautiful, but in the background it's also very harsh and noisy, dare I say horrifying. It's hard to put into words, but it's pretty mesmerizing. Jennifer B, on the other hand, is a lot more quirky and cute and along the lines of what I expected to hear about this entire album. It's anxious, it doesn't really sit still, it's very bouncy and fun. It's formless and really far out as well, especially in those lyrics, let me tell you. But it can also get you up and moving. I'm all for it. It's just, a very different sound from Jockstrap. Greatest Hits is really freaking cool as well, as we get a deconstructive club jam here with some really wonky elements as well. It's pretty far out, and I do have to take a moment to commend the vocal work of Georgia Ellery throughout this entire album, because more often than not, they are a huge selling point here. For the moment, this is seriously classy and a really great throwback sounding track. It sounds like an early 90s banger that's just been ripped apart and put back together. It's left field and it's not going to be for everyone, I promise you that, but I feel like Jockstrap has a really interesting way of pushing all the right buttons. It's haunting, it's bizarre, and it's absolutely gorgeous too. And What's It All About is one of my favorite deep cuts here. This track is so sweet and warm and cute and fuzzy. Vocally, it's another knockout, and the instrumental that floats through this track is really nice too. It's a real sharp turn, but it's another one that I'm just really glad is here. It just shows the versatility of Jockstrap. Now, there are some moments here that do agitate me more than anything, and they're pretty bulky tracks too. Like Angst, I'm gonna be honest, this track isn't for me. Not only that, I think it's the worst track here. Look, they've proven time and time again that they can do some pretty interesting stripped down tunes. That's not the problem here. The issue is the sheer disconnect and just the feeling that this track doesn't know where it's going. Look, this has been an album of sharp lefts and rights at a moment's notice, but at least they always seem to have, like an end game in sight. This just seemed unplanned and sloppy. Honestly, I'm not that big on Lancaster Court either. Once again, for a more stripped down track, this just sounds really more disjointed and formless than anything, which could be cool, but it just sounds just lost. World of Jockstrap has so much going on in it. I'm shocked to hear how lost they could sound at times, like here. But all around, this is a glitch pop and progressive pop album that you're probably not going to want to miss. There's a lot of great tracks on here. Debra is certainly one of them. Here we get these heavenly vocals and incredibly sweet lyrics, all around surrounded by these harsh walls of sounds. It's very otherworldly. But as this track rolls on, we get a sort of new wave beat burst through, and instantly this becomes one of the most accessible tracks on this album. And I love Glasgow so freaking much. I think it's my favorite track on the album. This almost in a way sounds like something out of the book of Igloo Ghost. And as this track unwinds, uncoils itself, it has this really nice rustic, strummed acoustic riff that doesn't come off corny somehow. I think the best way to kind of sum up this entire album is surprisingly human. which is very weird to even think about, but we have tracks like this that make it so obvious. And the 50/50 extended mix as a finale is spicy. This is a lengthy, glitchy, obtuse banger filled with all the samples, all the wonky samples I should say, the production tricks, everything that you want. Slick beats, strong grooves. It's something I wish we heard a little bit more of here. That's the only other real issue that I have with this album, but I'm glad that it shows up here because this track is a hell of a finale. Overall, yeah, the hype is totally real on Jockstrap. They've been, hyping people up for years with these great EPs and a sound that's pretty indescribable, and it really does translate very well to their debut album. I mean, yeah, some of the more bulky tracks on here actually kind of let me down, and that brings down my score a little bit. And yes, I kind of wish we heard some wilder tunes like the 50/50 extended mix that we got at the end. That's just me. Still, Jockstrap are doing something really interesting right now in progressive pop, glitch pop, whatever you want to call it. It simultaneously sounds like absolutely nothing else going on out there right now, but it also sounds surprisingly human at the end of the day, and it's a very interesting mix. I'm feeling a light 8 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.